It starts with a simple squeeze on a hot dog, a blob of bright yellow, tangy and sweet, spreading across a juicy frank. But across the Atlantic, someone else is reaching for a mustard jar too. Not a plastic bottle, but a squat little pot of blazing yellow fire. Not sweet, not gentle, English, and deadly. Two nations, one condiment, and a rivalry as spicy as the mustard itself. This is not just about sauce. This is about identity, conquest, empire, baseball, roast beef, war, and taste buds. Because mustard, yes, mustard, has been dividing and defining cultures for centuries. But nowhere is that clash more dramatic than between American mustard and English mustard. Welcome to True History in Minutes, where everyday objects reveal their hidden past. We uncover the fascinating stories behind the things you use every day. Today we look at American mustard versus English mustard, the war of the yellow gold. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing, like, smash that bell, and leave a comment, as this really helps our channel grow. Let's rewind. Way back, before sandwiches, before bottles, before borders. Mustard seeds have been used since ancient times, as far back as 3000 BCE in India and Sumer. The Romans ground mustard seeds and mixed them with wine or vinegar, essentially inventing the paste we still use today. They called it mustum ardens, burning must, because it was mixed with unfermented grape juice, must, and it had a sharp, fiery taste, hence the name mustard. From Rome, mustard spread across Europe, evolving region by region. In France, it became refined, creamy, elegant, the Dijon we know today. In Germany, it was grainy and complex, perfect with sausages. But in England, mustard took on a whole different personality. It became lethal. In 1720, an English woman named Mrs. Clements from Durham revolutionized mustard by milling the seeds into a fine powder, removing the husk. This made the mustard not just smoother, but exponentially more intense. For the first time, mustard had punch, not just a kick, but a full-on assault. English mustard was born, and it was not to be trifled with. Fast forward to 1814, and a man named Jeremiah Coleman begins producing mustard in Norwich. Coleman's mustard, the famous yellow tin, would become the face of English mustard for centuries. It was bold, bracing, and for the uninitiated, downright painful. English mustard doesn't creep up on you. It slaps you across the face, then disappears before you can catch your breath. It was meant to be eaten with red meat, roast beef, ham, game. Not for subtlety, not for kids, and certainly not for squeezing onto hot dogs. Meanwhile, across the ocean, a very different condiment was quietly rising. It's 1904, St. Louis, the World's Fair. Hot dogs are being served to hungry Americans, but they need something to top them. Something smooth, tangy, and safe for all palates. Enter George French. Not French from France, George French from New York. He introduces French's cream salad mustard, a mild, vinegar-forward mustard made with turmeric, a bit of sugar, and absolutely no burn. It's neon yellow, easy-going, and wildly popular. It's also completely American. French's yellow mustard took off. It was the opposite of English mustard in every way. Where English mustard was heat and aggression, American mustard was comfort. It didn't challenge you. It hugged you. It belonged on burgers, hot dogs, soft pretzels, and 4th of July cookouts. It was the condiment of democracy, friendly, accessible, and a little bit sweet. By the mid-20th century, mustard had become part of the American identity. Advertisements called it the sunshine condiment. Kids could eat it. Your grandma could eat it. It didn't punch, it pleased. And in a nation built on mass appeal and mild palates, French's became the gold standard. But let's talk ingredients, because the real difference lies in the details. English mustard, especially Coleman's, uses white and brown mustard seeds, ground to a powder and mixed with water. No vinegar. Why? because water activates the enzymes that release that nose-searing heat. Vinegar slows it down. Coleman's English mustard doesn't want mellow. It wants maximum intensity, fast. American mustard, on the other hand, uses milder yellow mustard seeds, loads of vinegar, salt, sugar, and turmeric, which gives it that bright yellow color. It's not just a taste, it's a style. Smooth, tangy, slightly sweet, predictable. Mass-produced, yes, but that's what made it powerful. The cultural symbolism is impossible to ignore. American mustard is for everyone. A melting pot on a hot dog bun. English mustard is a test, a badge of pride or pain, depending on how much you can handle. And yet, the twist? Mustard isn't just about flavor. It's about function. While ketchup, mayo, and barbecue sauces often sit on top of food, mustard soaks in. It enhances. It cuts through fat. It interacts with meat on a chemical level, breaking down proteins and intensifying savory flavors. And both mustards, for all their differences, are doing the same job, just in totally opposite ways. But mustard's story doesn't end with Coleman's and French's. Oh no. It gets weirder. In the 1980s and 90s, American chefs started looking back toward Europe, rediscovering artisanal mustards, grainy, spicy, rustic. Meanwhile, British supermarkets began stocking American-style yellow mustard for the growing number of hot dog lovers and barbecue enthusiasts. Today, in a strange twist of globalization, you can find Coleman's mustard in U.S. gourmet shops and French's mustard in British supermarkets. The great mustard wall has cracked, the lines are blurry, yet the core identities remain. American mustard is still yellow, smooth, and mild, a celebration of uniformity and mass appeal. English mustard is still fiery, bold, and unapologetic, the culinary equivalent of a stiff upper lip and a punch in the nose. And here's where it gets emotional. Food memories shape us. For some, that first taste of American mustard on a ballpark dog is a snapshot of childhood. For others, a dab of English mustard next to Sunday roast is a tradition older than their grandparents. These aren't just condiments, they're culture in a jar. So, who wins? That depends on what you want from your mustard. Do you want comfort? Familiarity? A smooth partner to your burger and fries? American mustard's got your back. Or do you want fire? Drama? A slap from history on your roast beef sandwich? Then bring out the English mustard, and maybe a glass of milk. Because in the end, this isn't a fight. It's a flavor spectrum. And somewhere between neon yellow and powdered fire, there's a place for both. Just maybe don't mix them on the same sandwich. If you enjoyed this spicy saga of condiment rivalry, hit that like button, drop your favorite mustard in the comments, and subscribe for more tasty tales from the past, served with a side of history. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.